What's going on, family? Back on here with the Juke, man. Today we're going to be discussing top 5 free agents that I think the Giants should try to look at in terms of fitting needs, filling holes, and actually making good additions. As you know, a lot has been circulating about Daniel Jones getting his contract, Saquon Barkley, what's going to happen with his contract, but we have a little bit of cap space to maneuver with. I think we can actually bring in some guys that can actually help this team, as well as drafting a lot of players, so let's dive straight into that. The first person we're going to be talking about is Parris Campbell. Parris Campbell, playing with the Indianapolis Colts, around 25, 26 years old. He has been just injury riddled ever since he got drafted coming out of Ohio State, and he used to be a burner. He did tear his ACL one of the years that he was on the Colts. It just has been injury riddled for him every single year. But what he can bring to the Giants is, one, youth. This team is actually on the young end, and Parris Campbell, being experienced, being in this league for a couple of years, he can provide some youth as well as experience. I don't think we've seen the best yet out of Parris Campbell. I think you can ask Colts fans about that, and I don't think you have. Pretty much what really stopped him was the injuries keeping him off the field, but when he's on the field, man, he's productive. It looks like he can make some moves after the catch, so definitely I think Parris Campbell should be on our radar. I don't think he would command that much in terms of dollar amount, so this is something that we should at least try to entertain and see if we can bring in, because at this point, with our wide receiver group, we just need to bring in a lot of bodies. We have a lot of free agents that are pending. Some guys I don't think we should bring back, but Parris Campbell, we should at least look at. Next, we're going to be talking about Lavonte David. Lavonte David, being up there in age 33 going on 34. He's a solid linebacker. He is still playing at an exceptional level. You know, he once was one of the top linebackers in this league, but he's still playing pretty well for his age. The Bucs didn't have the greatest defense last year, but he was one of the lone bright spots on that team. A lot of injuries that they had to maneuver through, but Lavonte David being available, I don't think it makes sense for them to bring him back. You know how I feel about our linebacker position. We haven't had good play in the linebacker position in a while, and I think Lavonte David can actually be a leader in the locker room and be a leader on this defense. But I definitely think you can pair him up with another linebacker that we either draft or another linebacker that we seek, and he can be very suitable for us. So Lavonte David should be on our radar. Number 3, we're going to be talking about Jakobi Meyers. Jakobi Meyers, I'm not going to lie, it feels like he's been in the league forever now, and he's only 26 years of age, so around the same age as Parris Campbell. And when you look at him, man, he's just been consistent for the Patriots. He never really was a guy that would put up over 1,500 yards receiving. He's not a top number 1 receiver in this league, but I will say he's number 2. We're going to be talking about James Bradberry. Look at the Photoshop on this photo. As you know, James Bradberry used to play for the Giants for about 2 years, and you know, we had to cut him because he was a cap casualty. We had very little cap room, and we were just in cap room hell. You can ask Joe Schoen about that, and he's very excited to have a little bit more cap room. And as you know, we need a cornerback 2. Cornerback 2, borderline cornerback 1. And it's funny that we are revisiting this because James Bradberry said it himself. He wouldn't be opposed to trying to be back on the Giants. Do I see the Eagles letting him go? I don't think so. I think they would try to re-sign him, but they just announced today that they're allowing Darius Slay to seek a trade as he has no guaranteed money left. And they're pretty much saying, like, if he doesn't find a trade, they're going to cut him. So with that being said, do they bring him back? I'm not too sure, but should the Giants consider it? I definitely think we should. He's a cornerback that can still play. I'm not going to act like he's a top 1 shutdown corner. I don't even think he was the same cornerback that we had in our system 2 years ago. But the defense that we run is also very different than what he played in for Patrick Graham. He played a lot of zone, and he was able to feast on that. In Wink Martindale's scheme, we need to play a lot more man. And once again, James Bradberry is probably better than half the corners that we have in our room anyways. Even with him not necessarily fitting the scheme, he's definitely another body that can compete. And once again, maybe he can have a resurgence in the New York Giants system. He had a good year last year, and I can see him having another one for us as well. Now, the number 1 free agent I want to talk about is Tremaine Edmunds, man. And same thing for Jakobi Meyers. I thought Jakobi Meyers has been around for a while, and I was surprised to see him at age 26. Tremaine Edmunds is to be reckoned with. This guy can go out there and he can cover tight ends. He can move all over the field. At the same time, he could blitz and rush the passer. He is a monster, and let alone he's like 6'4", 6'5" at the linebacker position. And being able to move the way he can, Tremaine Edmunds is a force to be reckoned with. I don't think the Bills have the cap space to bring him back, as well as Jordan Poyer after getting Von Miller. That's why it was so important for them to win last year, and they didn't. But Tremaine Edmunds, man, him having the relationship with Joe Schoen, I definitely can see them filling this void. And once again, the linebacker play has been so bad recently. I think I would not mind if we had to pay this guy to bring him in. Whatever it costs to bring this man in, give him his bag. I guarantee he could be a difference maker for this defense. What we should be looking for, and he is my number 1 target in terms of free agency.